I have got to say this, right, and I know this seems like it's been overdone and we've done this before, right? I freaking shelled for RGG Studios with guiding and saying it was amazing, and I've only played about 3 chapters of this, so this is my early reaction. But Yakuza 8, would you believe me if I said this, that it is actually amazing? Right, bit of an exaggeration here again, but it is amazing. I've played the first few chapters and I will definitely do a review on it. So, what do I actually think works about this? So, I think the intro to this is amazing, right? You've got Ichiban coming back into the swing of things, and you've got all the different other characters, and it's kind of like we're setting the stage up, we're setting this new foundation, and you see Ichiban, right? This is kind of a spoiler to the start of the game. I didn't even expect this, but Ichiban works at like Hello Work, which was this place you went to for the job system to get your like job ranked up, and you had all these different suits and styles. So seeing him doing that, and there was all these kind of twists and turns within the chapter, and this interesting thing. So I believe in a trailer like 7 months ago, there was this thing about how Ichiban was gonna get rejected by Sayako, and in context for the game, how Namba and Adachi like they have these dating advice for you, and it was really weird to see this happen. All the options were kind of hilarious, and I didn't expect this to happen at all. But getting to see this new side of Ichiban where he's working in Hello Work and him getting a bit more dating advice, the chapter was almost like 3 hours long, and couldn't really feel it. I really couldn't feel the pacing on it, and so I enjoy that about it. There's also how there's like this opening movie. So like a lot of the Yakuza games, like the way the game starts, right, when you open up the game, it's like got a compilation of scenes and a bit of like this epic music. Well, there's this opening movie that happens about 30 minutes in as you start the game, and you start this first little sequence with this Yakuza member, Sasaki, I think his name is. You get this opening movie where you see Ichiban walking around, he's going to that food shop and he's eating the ramen or whatever. You see all these kind of cool art styles, you see the voice actors at the side while they're walking, all these good animations, and interestingly, you get to see Ichiban with a man bun or a ponytail, which was a thing that Majima actually had in Yakuza 0 in my poster back there. And so there's definitely that. But another thing about Yakuza 8 that I'm falling in love with, right, the first 3 chapters, right, is how they literally improved the combat from Yakuza 7. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, right, in Yakuza 7, I think I'm going to reiterate this because I did mention that I did a reaction to the demo of Yakuza 8. Well, Yakuza 7, you're just there, you're just standing while you're doing the attacks, you're choosing the special magical abilities or you're doing attack, right? But in this game, you've got like this circle around you, and like this like thing that shows you like how far away you are from the enemy. It shows you some like options where you can throw weapons at them and like environmental things. So for example, you could throw a chair or something or a bin at the characters. So that was nice. Also, right, you're moving around, so you're not just like standing still anymore. And the fact that they listened to that criticism and applied it here, right? There's also the perfect guard where you're there, and then there's like this health bar that shows up and it gets close up in your face. But once you've played it more than once, like you've seen that sequence go down more than once, I think that it doesn't get as bad. For somebody who's just seen it for the first time, it's like, oh, it's like right in my face. Like you're trying to guard the attack, or you're doing this with your hands, audio listeners. You're putting your 2 fists together and you're like trying to guard the attack, and then these health bar thing at the side pops up randomly. And there's those things, but I just appreciate how that also happened. And yeah, there's definitely that. But this game also took about 4 hours to download, and I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but it definitely took a long time to download because this game is very, very long. It seems like there was this whole like the Japanese Yakuza, like RGG Studios, were they were like exaggerating this to where it was like, you're gonna take 4 or 5 days or 3 or 4 days to beat this game. I know you are. They were kind of just hyping up the game as you would do for a company if you want to advertise something super well. You got to entice viewers and things of that nature, but I've been hearing that Yakuza 8 is like 45 hours to 50 hours long, which is actually the longest Yakuza game. I did see that there is 14 chapters or something, which is interesting if you consider how Yakuza 5 had 21 chapters. So it'll be interesting to see how this whole game turns out, because I'm really enjoying it right now, and I wish I could say more, but the game's been out for about a day as I'm recording this, maybe just a little over a day now. And I'm just really glad that Infinite Wealth, Yakuza 8, whatever you want to call it, is really good. So I hope to finish Infinite Wealth in the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days. I am not gonna rush it or anything. I have seen on YouTube this guy who uploaded the ending and things, but I never actually watched it. So there's so many ways in which I can take this segment, but pretty much Infinite Wealth Yakuza 8 is pretty decent. I did forget to mention that also I got a poster of Yakuza 8 in there, which I did not really expect. So back there, it's like Ichiban, like that poster there, audio listeners, right? That one there. Ichiban and Kiryu are like this outside this Aloha seaside cafe, and they're kind of just chilling there. And I really appreciate that that I got a poster, because there was this thing, right? One actual thing about Yakuza 8 that came out lately that I never got to share my thoughts on was this new game plus thing that they did. Now, this is just a tiny little thing that I want to add to this, but pretty much if you have never played the Yakuza games, right, there's this thing called New Game Plus. Now, what is that? So you start a new game, you finish the story, you get that premium adventure, you get to do the side content, all of that. But once you get into the main menu again, it says New Game Plus, which means you've got all that build up progress, right? And you're able to play the game again with a higher difficulty or higher skills or whatever. But this time there was this controversy brewing with Sega to where, right, they actually put a $15 paywall on this. You had to get the highest level edition of the game, so it'd be like the ultimate edition. So if you didn't get that, they would paywall you. And that's the main criticism about this game at Yakuza 8. So they're actually doing this paywall New Game Plus. In my opinion, it is a bit stupid, especially for those who do YouTube videos on this. Like, there's this one guy on YouTube I watch, Devleon7, right? He has this video, he does like these boss fight videos and does all of that kind of stuff. And so if he can't do it in English or he can't do it again in a higher difficulty, then that'll be a bit of a shame for him. But the interesting thing is they actually have to buy that. It's just a bit sad because you'd think it would come with the base game. The standard edition is what I got for 60 quid, right? And I think the highest one was like 99, £98 or something. It's an extreme that the it's an extreme stuff, and that is how I feel about that. But that is my early reaction for Yakuza 8. I thoroughly enjoy what I'm getting right now from this franchise. I am absolutely blown away by how the fact we've gotten Yakuza 0, right? I started Yakuza 0, we've gotten 8, 9 mainline games, we count Yakuza 0. And then you've got Lost Judgment, the Kaito Files, all of this content, but it's all of it's very good. So there's that, and I do plan on, I'm just going to tease this right now, that I might actually be doing a re-review of the Yakuza franchise, because I did kind of share my thoughts on a replay stuff on the podcast, and I've changed my mind on things, and I want to kind of reiterate things that I kind of didn't go over in that review because it was kind of all over the place and I didn't know what I was talking about. So expect a review on the Yakuza franchise. So I might go from Yakuza 0 all the way to Yakuza 8 because I'll put Infinite Wealth in there. You know, naturally I would do just a separate review for Infinite Wealth, but or Yakuza 8 or whatever. But I'd rather just do it as a whole because then it's the whole entire game series and then I can compare, contrast ideas, whatnot. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that segment where we're definitely getting ourselves back into the world of Yakuza.